I'm going to allow you all to introduce yourselves. To introduce yourselves and to tell us a little bit about yourself. And right next to me, so first.
Stephen Klein, Atlanta, Georgia, and I am a recovering tax attorney. I work for the 65th largest accounting, tax, and advisory firm in the United States, and one of my clients came to me one day and said, I want to monetize my business. And I said, great, let me do a field examination for you, and I will tell you what you need. And he was in the alternative finance business. And that is the new terminology for something that used to be like hard money lending. But he was in check cashing and international money transfer. Went out and did a field examination of his business, and I went back to him and I said, you have a phenomenal business. You have a 70% margin that should be 50%. You have 100% income gross line that should be 95%. And he said, what do you mean? And I said, well, you don't have enough expense and you have too much revenue. And he said, I don't know why I hired you. And I said, it's all about efficiency and bottom line. It's not about top line and it's not about growth. I said, you do not have a COO, you do not have a CEO, you do not have a CFO. You are of South Asian culture and you work 7 days a week, 24 hours a day, and you do it all yourself. And while that is great and you have EBITDA of 60, 70%, that will never sell. So if you want to sell your business, you need to get a CEO, you need to get a CFO, you need to get a COO, you need to take a little less risk, and you need to make this so that PE or venture capitalists or other family offices might want to buy it. And he went away, and about 3 weeks later he came back and he said, Stephen, you are absolutely 100% correct, and you are my new CEO. To which I said, I'm a partner at a very large firm and I ran 2 public companies. I'm not sure I want to do this. And it's amazing how much money they can write you to get you to change your mind. Money can do absolutely anything in the world other than create kindness and love. Can't do either of those. So I joined him and we are in the process of monetizing the business. But I came here not because I need money. I came here because I'm too old and I need a partner. So what our business is looking for as a co-investment is somebody that wants to run with something that is exceedingly exciting, very profitable, has huge upside opportunity. We are disruptive in the marketplace. We are a company that essentially services the unserved marketplace, which we call the undocumented person in America. And they are the migrant workers that have checks that need to be cashed and they have money that need to be wired. We're taking all of that, putting it online, and by the time we're done, it will look like PayPal, but you will not need a social security number. And that's what we do.
Fantastic. Could you tell us about yourself?
So now I have to call that. Sorry. So
I have followed me. Come on.
that you guys. I'm Jordan Marion. I'm a former professor of physics, and so became 20-year professional about 2 years ago, about 10 to 15 years ago. And what really spurred that was the bulk of the work I did in physics was called protein physics. We focused heavily on Alzheimer's disease. And so if you have someone with Alzheimer's disease, effectively forms amyloid plaques in the brain, which lead to neurodegenerative death of neurons, and you have cognitive loss as a result of that. And so a lot of our research is focused in that area. And I realized over time I could deploy a lot more capital to these types of disease processes if I sort of erected a family office. So we sold our business in 2010. And we started a family office around 2012, 2013. We've been expanding that family office, and we do a lot in health and wellness space, a lot in the drug design space as well. So we focus heavily in those specific areas that I say have a direct human element. So I look at a lot of businesses that actually have tangential human elements, but there's nothing more visceral than health We deal with it from a range of folks in this room. Everyone has something that they're potentially dealing with on will as they age. So I was really inspired by the longevity panel yesterday where they talked about longevity and things related to that. And so we're now in a phase where we're deploying capital, looking for companies that actually see some of the things that we see in the ecosystem. We have a tilt to our sustainability, something that we think is not just here, but here to stay, and we're continuing to evolve over time. And so just sort of happy to have a conversation around what are the room and see all the exciting businesses and opportunities for us to take a look at.
Hello, I'm not the zebra around here, as I was a doctor, but I'm the other type, the one that treats all the species, not just one. I'm a veterinarian. And I'm here representing Cure Lab, which is a biotech company having both activities on the human side and the animal health side for the cancer therapy. But also, as we talk about co-investments, I'm an investor in animal health. I'm the CEO of a translational company that takes human drugs and puts them, that does the development for animal health applications. And as an investor, I'm part of the Vein Group, which is a veterinary angels. And we talk about co-investments and industries as family offices. Usually family offices don't look into animal health because they just don't have exposure and don't know the financials and the metrics and how to do diligence. But one of the panelists yesterday talked about expertise and seeking expertise. And there's a lot of passion, a lot of love, kindness, and expertise, and really good businesses in animal health. So if, as a family office, you're interested, you can work with like the Vein of Angels. And those are small amounts, $200,000 to $500,000 is what they put. But they do all the diligence validation on good projects. And then there is a pipeline of good projects that can piggyback and benefit from the co-investment, both in finances and expertise. One example, I have one company that's developing a fantastic drug for respiratory diseases that will be applicable in horses, as well as a non-opioid drug for pain, for bone pain and joint pain that has applications, has been demonstrated to work really well in horses. We know nothing about how to get funding or the expand into the Middle East. And as a veterinarian, I can tell you that drug will work fantastically well in Canvas. And there's over 7-8 million cameras in the Middle East, but no one really pays attention. And a lot of the drugs that are used are drugs that are used in cows or relabeled by companies, not specifically developed for that species. So if you have a family office with lots of activities, input, contacts in the Middle East, come talk to me, because that company might have a faster way to monetize, and then with that revenue from the Middle East, we'll be able to do the full LEA development in the US. And there's lots of opportunities like that for collaboration.
Off the top of your head, how much is spent on animal health worldwide? I know in America it's super high.
America is the 50% of the companion animal businesses in the US, 30% in Europe. It's about, let's say the pet segment is about $60 billion, with $20 billion in therapeutics, the rest in pet food and services. But one of the beautiful things, you talk about cashing checks and everything, is there's no third-party payer in animal health.
I know I have black pets.
So you pay cash or credit card, and it's all a cash business. 4% of the pets are insured, 96% are not. So it's all cash business with thousands of dollars that are spent on pets every year.
Hi, everybody. My name is Yurok Christopher. I'm the CEO of This Famous Ventures. We're a venture studio that helps pre-revenue and emerging brands with money, media, marketing, with the thesis if we can help you do two of those three things well, you have a good chance of success. If you can do all three things well, it's pretty hard to fuck up unless you're Adam Newman or Sam Bankman-Fried. We get an interesting portfolio of companies that approach us just because of my background and some of the people that I've done business with in the past. A deal that we're pretty excited about right now is an organization that has an exclusive global license with a well-known brand called the UFC. And so we own everything in the smart fitness category, health, recovery. And so we're able to leverage that brand that we're going to launch in a big way now in 2026 with the exciting news about the $70.7 billion deal with Paramount. And obviously for those that are Trump fans, the big fight that's going to happen on the lawn of the White House. And then if anybody's into golf, I'm also an equity owner organization called Celebrity Golf Association, put together world-class events around the globe. And our big next event is going to be at San Francisco for the Super Bowl. So if anybody has an interest to participate on any level, come reach out. We have a portfolio of companies, and that's a bit about us.
Isaac?
Good morning, Isaac Toledano with BH Group. I'm the founder and CEO of a real estate company here in Florida. Basically, our business model is very simple. We like to buy prime real estate, and then we join forces with the best partners in the industry, developers that have the capabilities of taking projects all the way to the finish line. So we currently have under construction the Residence 6 in Fisher Island. It's a $1 billion project. It's under construction. Multiple other projects that are currently under construction. We're currently doing also the Ritz-Carlton Residence in West Palm Beach, W in Pompano Beach, many other projects. The last few years, we opened the doors for a lot of LP investors and family offices. So far, it's going great, and we're doing a lot of business with family offices, some of them based here in the US, some of them are from South America, Brazil, and Israel. And hopefully we can do business with some of you as well.
Thank you, first of all, to Anthony and to Wendy for moderating. I was born in South Africa. I left as a child. For those South Africans in the audience, ek kan 'n bietjie Afrikaans praat, wat nie baie goed nie. I see there are not many South Africans. I've lived in a number of cities in London, New York, Sydney, Tel Aviv, Abu Dhabi. And I was an international lawyer based out of London, traveling all over the globe. About a decade ago, I started to work full-time in an investment group. We set up a closed multi-family South Africa private family. And in addition to that, more recently working out of Abu Dhabi with a new Emirati investment. And one of the issues that we focus on is co-investment opportunities all at the globe. The South African group invests internationally, the Emirati group similarly, as well as use the Gulf region. And it's good to be here, good to meet everyone, looking for good co-investment partners across the world. I'm a strong believer in the future of the Middle East, the Gulf, UAE, Saudi, etc. And that's why a number of years ago I decided to focus on looking at that nature. And that's really how I got to know this group, Hansabe's group, from the conferences in Abu Dhabi.
Carl, do you invest in all types of assets, or are there specific assets that you look
So I'd say there are specific assets we don't invest in, but the family's money was made up real estate, retail, etc. It's now a question, or a sector agnostic, but it's a question of finding good opportunities, but more importantly than good opportunities always for good partners. So we look for long-term relationships, and that's why I'm investing a lot of time and effort in the GCC, particularly in Abu Dhabi, to build those relationships. Because from our point of view, it's not just about investing money, it's about investing your time and energy and focus. And that's why for the last few years I've been there building those relationships. Because in my experience, at least, it's the relationships that will make the deals last, particularly when you face problems. So, yes.
for?
Yes, good morning, everyone. My name is George Fajardo, founder and CEO of KPI Capital Partners and Keystone Energy. We're heavily involved across several verticals. Energy being one of the verticals that we're heavily focused on. We are very involved in several large-scale energy projects aimed at producing electricity for large-scale data centers. Our strategy in that vertical is to acquire stranded energy sites where then we can go ahead and build out the grid. So we're basically what you would call a decentralized or behind the grid utility. So we actually become the utility and we sell the electricity back to the hyperscalers who would then take on the responsibility of building the data centers. Another vertical that we're also very heavily invested in is large-scale multifamily. So for example, we're currently working with several groups where we're acquiring several thousand doors where we can then put that on a platform, create a product that's bankable, create a roll-up that we could then have an exit already pre-planned 5, 7, 10 years down the road where it could be sold off to secondary markets. And so that's really one of our main strategies. And then on the VC side, we're very selective. We work with certain I wouldn't say startups, but maybe early stage companies that show good potential and have the right founders in place. We're very big on making sure that the founders, the principals of those companies have the right mindset in order to really take it all the way. So that's something beyond the numbers that we always look at when we're evaluating different companies that we're looking to invest in. So across the board, what we do is we partner with large-scale family offices and other investment bankers in order to put these type of structures together and really be able to grow through a co-invest opportunity that we can all scale and grow with. So we have offices here in Miami and in Dubai, and so we also work with investors from across the globe. And I'm here to long-term relationships with as many of you as possible so that we can create a beautiful future together.
Hi, I'm Thomas Ovin, and I'm from France. I moved here in 2010 and founded my family office, US branch of my family office, right off of high school. We invest primarily in real estate, underperforming, the distressed assets. We're very involved, very hands-on to convert and reposition those assets to maximize returns. Recently, we started a co-investment fund where we are partnering with strategic family offices. One of them is the Anheuser-Busch family. We created a hospitality platform. We're buying underperforming hotels in prime markets, and we're repositioning them as independent boutique luxury hotels. We have one we're developing now in Miami Beach, across the street from the Faena. We have one in St. Bart's, and one in Saint-Tropez in France. We're looking to acquire many more in the coming years. Another family we partner with on another co-investment platform is the Timberland Boots family. We're buying grocery anchored shopping centers. Again, underperforming, top tier tenants, and we're looking to roll up with the strategy pretty heavily. I've personally deployed over $500 million in the last 10 years in different real estate strategies, and we're looking to deploy more and more as we grow. And we're looking to partner with other strategic family offices. We're not in the market to raise LP capital, I'd say, but more to form strategic partnerships with other families and or platforms together.
Fantastic. So we have about 8 minutes left before I get kicked off the stage. So we're going to speed back a little bit in no particular order. And Dr. Neri, I'm going to start with you. Best co-investment you see right now can be your own, as you amassed of the audience.
The best co-investment that we're working with right now is actually the Meagle Therapy drug company. So we see significant upside. We see a lot of translational impact across it globally, across Florida. We're expanding right now in KSA and Abu Dhabi as well, Palo Settlement. We're also expanding here. The U.S. clinical trials are expanding. That's been our most exciting co-investment. And we're also preserving a lot of things. But we see some of the opportunities will be sort of in the what I call the AI-enabled space when it comes to drug design. We see a lot of application there. We're not as much sort of say like the traditional AI related companies. We do see there is in that space, but in general, we don't see that as a significant piece. We're looking at opportunities where we could see how AI will enable processes and manufacturing and sort of logistics, sort of things like that, that we think will have significant human impact as well. But the drug design space is where we're focused heavily on today.
Fantastic. Paul?
Well, the investments are a little most on ones I didn't make. Like so many of you, I'm sure, the property down the road that tripled the price, or building in the center of town that then became the hardest front of town. But real estate has actually been the best overall, particularly the US real estate market. And that's not because of ingenious, it's because of just our market timing. So I think that turns out to be the best overall. And it's difficult to say we could buy now or that buy now, but the last 30 years, that's been.
Fabulous. Jorge?
So for us, as I mentioned, energy is a huge factor because we're really at the forefront of this potential energy crisis. Because right now we're living in an interesting time where we're at the crossroads of technology and infrastructure. And quite frankly, the infrastructure hasn't kept up with the technology. And energy consumption is due to increase by 500% in the next 5 years, as I mentioned yesterday. And so for us, being at the forefront of this is very important because we're looking towards the future. We're working from the end in mind because we already have the relationships with the off-takers, the hyperscalers, that AAA rated that you can think of, Google's, Oracle's, Amazon's of the world, where we already have LOIs in place and we already have a mandate from them to create these grids and be able to sell the electricity back to them. So from an investment standpoint, it creates a very unique structure where it's an asset-backed investment with returns based on already being able to sell the electricity back to them as a utility. And then on the real estate side, right now there's a lot of opportunity in the market with undervalued properties that have potential for high growth and value add, particularly in the affordable housing and workforce housing space. And so those are our two primary verticals that we're focused on because, again, we're looking towards the future and this we see where it's going now.
Hira?
So obviously we're pretty excited about the UFC opportunity coming up, but another interesting company that we're doing due diligence on right now is an organization called Change Captain. They've actually cracked the code on being able to identify R&D credits or tax credits specifically for software. So how many people know someone that's developing software, right? Like basically everybody. And so what they've done is typically if you go to your CPA, right, you'll go in there and say, hey, I want to take advantage of the tax credits. And then they'll be like, well, there's no way really manually for you to be able to do that, get 100%. What they figured out is a software solution that will automate the process of attribution so you can go get 100% tax credits. And there's literally no upfront cost and they just go get you extra money. And the cool part is if you're in the VC space raising a fund and you deploy into a software company, even if that software company goes bust, you can actually get credits rolled back up to your funds. So we think that's going to be a pretty exciting opportunity.
Thank you. Isaac?
Across our portfolio, we have about 32 projects that we're currently involved. We're not investing in any other markets, only in Florida. So we see a lot of interest of co-investments, a lot of LP capital, a lot of foreign investors that wants to invest in Florida. South Florida is enjoying a very positive momentum in the last 7-8 years. And everybody thought that maybe this is a temporary height because of COVID, but guess what? Nobody speaks about COVID anymore at the last 2 years, but everybody's still speaking and coming to South Florida. We see a lot of events, a lot of conventions that people used to do them like in Vegas, all the markets every year, and everything is coming to South Florida. Very happy and very excited. I think that this momentum is going to get better and better and stronger.
Fair. Tom?
Yeah, as I said, we're focusing heavily on hospitality right now and retail shopping centers. On the hospitality, we're looking to partner with strategic capital to build our own brand and acquire multiple other assets in markets we strategically identified. We're also looking at harmonize certain hotels in our portfolio. So anybody who has any recommendation here, welcome, because we were just starting this process. And this is in the co-investment platform we have at the Bush family. On the retail side, we are putting together a bridge capital fund in order to create deals as we acquire them and stabilize them until we recap them with our own or other families' capital. We have many deals we were closing in the retail that we've started this co-investment platform last year, and we've already closed paid deals of $700 million of value. And that's what we're focusing on now, but we're looking to, as a family office, we're looking to grow and create other co-investment platforms across different asset classes.
Thank you, Dr. Yaf.
Yeah, so obviously I want to refer back to healthcare, in particular, animal health, for one reason, like the company I'm representing, but have other companies also at the same space. And animal health drug development is much faster than human healthcare. Takes 5 to 8 years. That if you do it right, if certain of those possibilities will get to market in 3 to 4 years. Cost about $6 to $8 million. And the technical chance of success, which is super important to understand, is much higher because your clinical studies are done in target species. So if I develop a drug for dogs and testing dogs, when I go to the regulatory agency, the FDA, and I secures the data in dogs, there's not that huge technical chance that you go from mice to humans. All of a sudden people realize, well, why did it work? Well, because we've cured cancer in mice, so we had still a lot of work to do in humans. But there are tons of opportunities like that. $6-8 million in the comps show that one company that has 1 or 2 of those assets is one approved to market. The exits are in the $80 to $100 million. So much smaller on the human side. I like to say jokingly, it's like if you get into animal health, don't chase unicorns. We don't have unicorns, but you can make a lot of money in dogs, cats, horses, and other species.
60 billion help.
Stephanie, can you bring us up?
So, since we're not looking for money, I'll tell you a little bit about the great Wayne Gretzky comment that you may have all heard somewhere along your careers. Don't skate to where the puck is, skate to where the puck is going. So what we're doing in our company is skating to where the puck is headed, which is to service the unserviced community. There are 25,000 check cashing stores in America that will fail because of technology. They all have thousands of customers that have already had KYC done on them. If I could convince them to join our team, we have a market share of 100%. And that is very unusual to any company in America. If you look at Chime, who recently went public, they went public at a 1.3 times sales. We can sell our company at the same number that they sold, and we are profitable, we have positive cash flow, and we have more customers that are coming in every month than they have. So it is just being disrupted. So all of the people here are in disruptive technology. All the people in the room are in disruptive businesses. And this conference is for those people that want to continue to be disruptive. And Anthony, you've done a remarkable job.
We're going to let Cal come back up here, and I'd like to have a round of applause for these amazing panelists.